Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I am doing some blackberry jam. Now what I did was I think I did something wrong. Okay, so I thought I would just save up all the blackberries and I do in the cooked one with the sure gel. And so I did the 9 cups, or I saved 9 cups. I used 7 of them. And I thought, a little bit, the seeds aren't going to bother me none. But then there was foam on it. And so now I'm over here like just going through this stuff and like putting it through this little tiny strainer here after I've already cooked it because there was so many seeds and everything at the top. And I'm like, man, I'm not sure how this is going to work. So it's kind of like in a little experiment with the canning today. We're going to find out. I've never canned blackberry jam, and I know there's seeds in them. I know there are. And I just didn't, I don't know. I guess I didn't think that one through all the way. So I'm kind of going to see how this works, but pretty much this is what I'm doing. Like I just reaching in here, grabbing a scoop, and then you're sitting on top of some lemonade here, like a country time lemonade thing. So I'm taking the scoop and then I'm just like pushing the juices out with a little spoon, trying to get a lot of the berry stuff through, working it through this little strainer, and just kind of doing that. Now I'm not going to take them all out. I'm only going to take, like a coffee cup full. There's still going to be some seeds in it because I'm not sure how well it's going to sit, being that I've already gone through the cooking, and right now I actually should be ladling it into the jars that it's supposed to be in. And my jars are in the oven. I turned it on 400 degrees, heated it up, and then put the jars in there. My canner, I did start the canner with water right away first, and it's still not hot. It's not boiling, but I'm going to put them in before they're boiling. But I kind of just wanted to show you like what I'm doing here and see how it works out. I'll take a video after it's done and do a little taste test and add that to it, and we'll see how it works out. Okay, so this is kind of after I had strained, I don't know, most of the blackberries out of here. It's already been to its full boil, but it's not very jam-like, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. It might just end up being like some runny thing. I got a mess going on over here. Some runny thing that we'll just add it to water and have a juice concentrate. I spilled a little, but this is the coffee cup full of mostly the seeds, and then these are my hot jars, and we're gonna ladle them in. All right, so like this is, I have no idea where this ladle came from. It actually was here when we moved into the house. The lady that we bought the house from, she had left a ton of her canning stuff. They were moving into their camper and going to kind of move up north and live a nice little retirement. Ooh, that one was too full. So I'm not gonna be able to do this with just one hand while I'm doing the video, but essentially this is what we're going for. That one might be a little bit too full, but we're gonna go with it. Try not to make too big of a mess, and just keep ladling them in and filling up the jars, seeing how it goes. Now I am using these little tiny jars just because a lot of the people that live here don't care for jam, so some of these will get added to like Christmas presents, things like that. I like jam, and my one son will eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but everyone else will just eat peanut butter. They don't care for jam. They're not a jam on your toast, jam on your biscuit kind of people. That's just me and one of my kids. My oldest son does not live here. He does like that stuff, and I actually am planning on giving a couple of these to him, like Christmas presents, kind of things like that. Not like his whole Christmas present, just, something fun to add in his stocking. But that is what I'm going to do. So let me fill these real quick. Okay, so the recipe said it would do 8 of the jars, like the jelly jars. These are obviously half the size, so I thought maybe 12 would work because I was taking some off, and I still have enough probably to do just as many. So we're going to put this first batch in, and I'll probably get some bigger containers and a few more bigger jars. But so I'm gonna get the lids on these, and we'll get these in the water bath canner, and then I will get the bigger jars into the hot oven and get those warming up and get those ready for the next round. And real quick, just wanted to add, I am wiping the rims of these off because they are very sticky, so I'm over here getting paper towel right now. But we're going to wipe the rims off with, well, right now I'm just using pickling canning vinegar, but just regular white vinegar works too. I'm just using the one that is already open from, I'm also going to be making some pickled garlic scapes. So we're going to do those too. Alright, so this is, I got 5 more. I might have been able to get like one little tiny one, but it's just kind of on the bottom in there. There's not much in there. But I did get 5 more of these big ones. So the lids that are on here, they don't have a dome in them. So I ended up getting these from Walmart. I'm not sure. I've never used them. We're going to see how these work. So I thought instead of, you know, just chancing it like on my tomatoes or my sauces that I rely on, since this is just kind of like an extra thing and just something special, like kind of gifting it, but not a necessity that I need throughout the year. So I'm going to use them on these and see how they seal first. If they don't seal too well or they don't look right, I will not use any more of these. Now I only got 4 boxes of them just because I found them and I was like, I'm just going to grab a few extra boxes while they're here. So we're going to try them out. If these do not seal, they won't go to waste. I'll just put them in the garage and I'll actually use them in our traps for bait because we've had the huge raccoon problem. And right now, my husband's actually using some of my strawberry jam. So instead, he'll use these if these lids don't seal right. But I'm hoping that they will. So this is just a little reminder. I forgot to add the vinegar to the water. And so my jars are covered, and hot. But they're covered in this white, I cannot think of what it's called right now. But anyways, yeah, so I added vinegar to the water for the taller batch, and hopefully they'll come out nice and clean. But now I've got to wash all of these jars tomorrow after they sit for 24 hours. I think it's like about 5:30 in the morning right now. Normally I would not be canning. I would not have started at 4:30 in the work in the factory. And work third shift, got out of work at lunchtime, which is 3:30 in the morning for me. And I thought, you know what? My husband and all the kids are still at work. Well, I do have one kid who doesn't work third and he's sleeping. But I've been being pretty quiet, not talking real loud or anything. And, you know, he's a few rooms away anyway, so he should be fine. But, yeah, so I decided I'm going to get this jam done because I've been collecting the berries in the freezer. And I knew that I was going to be doing them today, so I did set them out. They weren't like frozen when I started this, but I set them out yesterday and got it started. But yeah, so I got 12 of the little jars and 5 the next size up. And so we're going to call that a morning. Waiting for the sun to come up. It's barely, like, you can walk outside and see, but it's not like bright enough to do anything. And so I'm going to meet my husband in town for breakfast this morning with the other kids because we're going to wait for the bank to open. And then we're going to be doing some gardening this morning and getting the rest of my tomatoes tied up. I have neglected my tomatoes. Not neglected them, but they weren't really tall enough to hang up, and now that they're tall enough, they're like laying down. So I got to get all those up. I've got 3 rows done, and I got like another 2 rows to go. Probably like 40 or so more tomato plants that I need to get done up. So the light is reflecting off my glasses. But anyway, so I will be doing that for the rest of the day and add some little bit of clips in here for that. And hope you enjoy the clips. Alright, so I'll show the difference right here. This is the difference between putting vinegar in your water and not putting vinegar in your water. So as you can see, these ones here I'm going to be doing a lot of cleaning on. And this here looks nice. Hello. Okay, so we are doing the garlic scapes now. I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing. I've got most of them ready. So I looked all over for dill seed and I could not find dill seed. I've been to like a few different stores over the last couple days, so we are going to use this organic pickling spice, and this I got from Ann's Health Food Store. This is in Hastings, Michigan, and it says that the ingredients are the yellow mustard, cinnamon, allspice, dill seed, celery seed, bay leaf, chili peppers, cloves, caraway, ginger. Caraway. I think that's how you say caraway. I think that's what that is. And ginger. So I am putting a teaspoon of this into each one of the jars. And then I am also using, I put a teaspoon of peppercorns in them already. And I did all my other jars. I just have the one jar. And then back here is all the jam that I did this morning. I did end up needing to take a nap, so it's like 3:30 in the afternoon, but it's raining, so we're going to, so I could come head off. So it's raining, so we're just going to can up the garlic scapes now. And then this is the organic coriander seeds, and I was able to find those. And I put a teaspoon of these per each jar, along with the peppercorns and the pickling spices. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a vinegar brine. And I'm not following like a recipe. This is kind of just like how I do it. How I do it is not always necessarily what is right for your house. So do not always follow just whatever somebody says. Just because I say that's what I do does not mean that's what you should do. You need to do what you feel is safe for you and your family. And always, if you're unsure, always just follow like the blue canning books, like the Ball canning, things like that. The blue book, the blue Ball canning book. And then I also have like the complete guide to canning from Ball. And so all of those, like if you're unsure, follow those. So right now I've got water going. So sometimes you'll notice when you make a brine that they do not last the way that they should. And so what you'll do is, sorry, Betty walked in. You're fine. But so sometimes the jars, when you make your brine, you don't have what you need or how much you need. So you're always like, have too much or you too short. So what I do is I take like a jar. So I am actually making 5 regular size jars and then one, not regular, I don't know, smaller ones, like salsa size jars, and then a tomato size jar, 1 tomato size jar. So what I did was I took 3 of these full of hot water, and then I'm going to do vinegar, 3 with vinegar. That way I have 6, even though one's a little bit further, a little bit bigger, not further. So we're gonna do that with the vinegar and the water. For every cup of water, I do a teaspoon, or not a teaspoon, a tablespoon. So every cup of water, I do a tablespoon of canning salt. And so I'll add that to the water. It's not open. Hold on. All right, so the struggle is over with that. And so I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of salt to this brine. And then we'll take this to a roaring boil, and you're going to stir it. And then as soon as it's hot, you ladle it into your jars. And my jars are warm. They're not hot anymore, but they are warm. My water bath canner is going, and my lids are going back here. But I'm thinking that this is actually going to be done before that. So I'm going to, like if you get ahead of yourself, you can always just let it sit and then turn it back up, turn it back on when your canner gets to a boil. So I turned the canner on before I started all of this, but the canner's still not going. So, but you'll ladle your jars like I use your funnel. Put it over. I'm reaching over your head. And then if your fingers can handle it, you'll just pick it up and hold it over it. If not, you're going to make a mess. Be prepared for the mess. So I'll do it like this. I use a cookie sheet underneath so that I don't have it going all over my stove and all over everywhere. I gotta wait for this to come to a boil. But then you'll just ladle it into your jars. And you use the 2-part canning lids. Make sure you use the 2-part canning lids. So the water bath canner is at a boil now. And so I decided to heat my jars. So they are hot. I put them in the oven, even with the stuff in, which I'm not sure if I should have, but we're about to find out. So I am going to start ladling. Now that the jars are hot, I'm not going to be able to just pick them up. But we're going to start ladling our brine. And we're going to leave, I leave a 1/2 inch headspace. I think should leave a 1/4 inch at least, at the very least. I like to leave a 1/2 inch. And I love this scoop because it, like, this, if you can come across one of these, it's like, it's aluminum. But if you can come across one of these at a garage sale, I definitely suggest picking it up. Because even when I do my tomatoes, it's like the perfect scoop to fill these jars. You don't have to make 4 or 5. Well, then I say that, and then that one just a little bit. But, yeah, you don't have to keep going back and getting tons and tons. Now, before I was using, like a measuring scoop, like a measuring, well, a measuring cup. Not a full cup, but like for your solids, not for your liquids. That makes sense. So I just want to make sure all the garlic scapes are covered. And then some of them kind of floated to the top and are sticking up, and so I'm going to push those down into the brine. Now some people add theirs and they make it all fancy, or they put them in circles. I just cut mine and packed them in there. But you can do it however you want. If you can get them to cut straight and do it tall, I would use a wide mouth for that one. Like if you do that, I would definitely use a wide mouth for that. But for this is working, and that was perfect. The amount, everything worked out well for that. We're gonna move this. And yes, you can see I am canning on a flat top. So this flat top is actually broken. I don't put the canner on this side, but it's broken like right through here. It comes up and it goes like that. So like, I don't know if it'll show when I turn the burner on. It shows like in person, you can really see this crack, but I don't know if it'll show you on the video. Let's find out here. Okay, so see this? You can see that crack right through there. I cracked it pretty good, and then it comes up through there, and it doesn't quite hit that burner, but it comes pretty close. But yeah, so we've filled these up. I've got my water back here. It is hot. It's just kind of simmering now, with my lids in it. I'm going to use my debubbler, which was over on the other side of the kitchen. So I'm going to use my debubbler, and I'm going to just kind of come in here, and I'm going to move all these around like this and shove those little pieces back down in there. And then we are going to wipe the rim with the white vinegar, and we're going to use our 2-piece canning lids, and we'll put them in the canner. And I'm going to process these for 10 minutes for my altitude, for my area. Yours may be different. Like again, consult with the Ball canning books. Do your research online, whatever you need to do. Just make sure you're processing them for the time for the area that you live. I'm going to first go through and I'll wipe them with a dry paper towel just to make sure there's no wetness, there's no actual stuff in it. And then I go back through and I wipe it with the paper towel with the white vinegar on it. And I'm just using the canning vinegar. And I just wipe the rims. Make sure they're nice and clean. Gonna get a good seal on them. And then with our, pick that up. And then we'll do this. These are gonna be hot. And you're only gonna go fingertip tight. And all of those the Walmart ones did seal. On this batch, I've got 3 of those mainstay from Walmart. And then I have got 3 older car lids that I got from an estate sale. It was 50 cents for the box. And again, I know I'm taking a chance with that. The same as with the mainstay. I do have a lot of the ball canning jars the ball canning lids. But again, I'm saving those for my tomatoes because those are kind of a priority for my house. This here is just kind of, you know, like something to add to other foods, to cook with, add some flavor. I'm going to try and eat a couple of them, I'm not sure. So after I process these, we will wait 3 weeks. Some people say 2 weeks. We're going to wait 3 weeks and let them sit, let them get all their goodness and everything like that. So we're going to wait 3 weeks on these, and that should be good. Because these are so hot with the hot everything on them, the hot lids, the hot ladles, I'm going to use my pick 'em up uppers. I don't know what you call these, the jar picker uppers. So mine are like my ladle. They're vintage. They're wooden. I did buy a new set a couple years ago because I was like, oh, they're so cute and pretty. I want a new one. The plastic, they're plastic right here. These ones are wood because they're vintage. These again were left in the house when we bought the house, and we've been here for going on 20 years. So I've been here quite a while. These have been around for quite a while. And then I just found a second pair when we were doing the auction. There was a second pair that was in with the storage unit stuff that had the wooden handles, and I kept those ones as well. So now I'm going to have 2 pairs with wooden handles. But the newer plastic ones, I found when I'm using them, I tend to grip them tight. Like I tend to like squish them tight. And where the plastic comes together, it leaves marks on your hands, and they come apart, and they continuously come apart, and they're breaking. So like you'll go down, you'll pick your jar up, squish it, and then it like breaks in your hand. Well, it doesn't break, but it tends to come apart in your hand, which does irritate me quite a bit. So I decided not to use those ones anymore, and I've got this one. And then when I found that second pair, I was like, yep, I am definitely keeping those. And so now I've got 2 pairs with the wooden handles. So I would again, like with the ladle, if you can come across a set like this, like an older set at a estate sale, at a garage sale, if you like to shop at those kind of things. If not, then hey, buy the new ones. But if you do, then I would definitely do that. Anyway, so we're going to set our lid on there. It's boiling a little bit, but it's not boiling hard. So I'm going to let that boil a little bit harder before I set my timer. Just because I want to make sure that it's at a full boil before I set the whole timer. And we will show you when it comes out. This is our final step. We're going to take it out of the water and put it over here. And then it's going to sit here along with these jams for the next 24 hours is what I like to do. And just leave it sit there. So I take the lid off and forks. Try to get sturdy forks if you have sturdy forks. And I will just grab these like this and set them like that. That way I don't have to like get my pot holders wet or anything. And then you just hopefully listen for the pop. Sometimes you hear them right away. A couple of those jams popped as soon as I took them right out of the water. And these ones, I did remember the vinegar in the water this time. So these jars are coming out nice and clean, unlike with that first set of jam. I can't believe I forgot that. Actually, I can believe I forgot that because I do it all the time. It's like the very first batch of the season. I always forget to do that. I'm not sure why, but I do. So I will put this off to the side. That off. Guess I probably should have turned that off to begin with, but so I turn that off, and now we just wait, and hopefully they will start popping. And I do my dishes as I go, just kind of I'm not always on top of dishes, but when I'm canning, I definitely do my dishes as I go. So looking good. At least I think they're looking good. They kind of look like green beans. I'm going to have to label these. that one popped. Yay. So they're popping right away. That's nice. But you can see I've got like the pickling in them. But yeah, they really do look like green beans. Huh. So I'm going to have to make sure I label these and put them in probably on a completely different shelf than what I'm going to put the green beans on. We don't have any green beans left this year. We're completely out of those. I don't do much of them though. We don't eat a whole lot of the green beans. But that is it for my day today. That was our Friday. So took a couple hour nap, got some stuff done. But yeah, I've been doing laundry throughout the whole day. Pretty much done with that. I've got 5 loads. Whew, too much laundry, I tell you. 6 people in this house. One of them sends my son's friend who lives here. He doesn't even do his laundry here, and I still have that much. His mom comes and picks his laundry up and does it for him. She's much better mom. Much better mom. Can't say that I'm gonna go drive long ways distance, go pick my kids' laundry up, wash it, bring it back to them. I'm not gonna do that. So kudos to her. But have a good day. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing, hit the thumbs up, you can share, but have a good day.